Hello, everyone. Welcome to our KBU International. Let's get ready for Spring 2026 registration webinar. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to acknowledge that we at Cortland Polytechnic University respectfully acknowledge that we live, work, and study in a region that overlaps with the unceded traditional and ancestral First Nations territories of the Musqueam, Cassie, Semamu, Sawasan, Kakay, and Quiquiclan, and with the lands of the Kwantlen First Nation, which gifted its name to this university. We're thankful to them for having cared for our lands and waters since time immemorial, and we honor their graciousness to the students who seek knowledge here. Before we welcome our presenter, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping items. I'm sure everyone is excited to start your first semester at KBU, and you must have a lot of questions inquiries today, whether they're related to registration, admissions, or questions about life as an international student in Canada. So the webinar today will cover lots of information regarding those aspects. So please pay close attention to the presentation, as many of your questions will already be answered by our presenter. At the end of our session, we will open up the Q&A platform, and you can leave your questions there in the Q&A box. So the Q&A box will be on the right side of the screen. A number of staff from KBU International will try to answer as many of your questions as they can. And if it is a reoccurring question, we will publish the question and the answer for all of you to see. So before posting your questions in the Q&A box, please make sure to review the questions that already answered and published. Please remember, your questions may already be answered in the presentation, so it is important that you pay close attention to the presenter first. Moreover, as newly admitted students, you should receive the course recommendation email with the handouts from our office. Please have a look at the handouts, and we hope you have an idea what courses you would consider to take in your first semester. Secondly, I would like to let everyone know that we will be recording today's session and share the recording with you, with your newly admitted students. So please keep an eye on your KBU email account, and we'll send you the email with a link to the video later this week. So now I'm going to leave the stage to our presenter today. So Vicky is our International Student Advisor at KBU, and she has extensive experience working with international students. Vicky, please feel free to start your presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all doing well and are excited about starting your journey at KPU. My name is Vicky, and I'm one of the international student advisors. We will covering a ton of information today, but there are all essential information to be aware as a new international students. So I encourage you to take notes as we go along and jot down any questions you may have, which you can ask at the end of the webinar, as Jane just mentioned. Some of the key topics that I will cover in this webinar is the roles of International Advising Unit and the process of course registration, the types of course offered at KPU, and the importance of maintaining full-time status for the post-graduation work permit program. I will also briefly go over my KPU.ca and some of academic and non-academic support services available to you as a KPU student. So what is the role of International Advising Team? We are here to support international students in all academic and non-academic matters. Our goal is to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where you may ask questions, seek guidance, and hopefully thrive at both in your academic and personal journey in KPU. Next, I will introduce the people who made up this International Advising Team. These are the people that you will see all the time when you do consultation and appointments as you go through your education journey at KPU. So we have a total of 9 advisors at KPU International. 5 of them are based on Surrey campus, and they are Leah, Manpreet, Sanam, Sarah, and Oksana. So you will also notice that list the second language that each of advisor can speak in addition to English language. In Richmond campus, there are 4 advisors, Hillary, Julie, Sandra, and myself. In addition to our international student advisors, we also have the international advisor, advising manager, Kevin, advising coordinator, Andrew, who is currently on maternity leave, and advising assistant, who you just met, James, and the student assistant, Mia. As you may notice, our team consists of advisors who can speak and offer consultation in different languages. This include Malay, Filipino, Hindi, Punjabi, Farsi, Mandarin, Korean, Vietnamese, and Russian. So what we do? So you may be wondering what we are exactly support services we can offer. So the International Student Advisor offer both academic and non-academic supporting services. In terms of academic support, we can help in exploring different programs, planning courses for the term, guiding students in their progression and graduation check, answering questions about academic standing, GPA, and course prerequisite. Overall, we help you understand KPU policies and procedures. As for the non-academic support, our advisors are trained to assist students with regard to immigration-related concerns, for example, your study permit, working eligibility, as well as post-graduation work permit. So we also issue letters as needed by students for their immigration applications. If you have a question related to something not listed here, you are welcome to ask us. So when should you see an international student advisor? For any immigration-related question, regardless of your program and how many credits you have completed, you should always meet with us. If you are in any ELST, ENGQ, or TREAS program, you should see an international student advisor for all academic and non-academic inquiries. And the same apply to students in a certificate, diploma, or associate degree program, and those in their first or second year of a bachelor program. So if you fit into any of these categories, you should see an international student advisor for all your questions. So apart from international student advisors, KPU also have degree advisors. If you are enrolled in a bachelor program and later on have complete more than 45 credits, or if you are in a post-bac or graduate diploma program, you should see a degree advisor for any course planning or program progression related questions. KPU has a degree advisor for the Faculty of Business, Arts, Science, Health, and Design. How do you meet with an advisor? So there are two ways you can meet with an international student advisor. First is by booking a 30-minute appointment. A 30-minute appointment is recommended in cases where you need to discuss something in details or may have several questions. For instance, for course planning, program exploration, GPA calculation, and a graduation check, you are encouraged to book a 30-minute appointment. Second way to connect with us is through a drop-in session. For drop-ins, you do not need to make a booking for a time slot. Instead, you should sign up 15 minutes before the drop-in start time, either in person or online, and wait in the line for your name to be called. During drop-ins, as we may have several students waiting in the queue, the advisor may only be able to spend 10 to 15 minutes with you. So please be mindful of that. This is useful if you have like quick questions, okay? And you can find the schedule for drop-in sessions and how to join the sessions, as well as the step to book a 30-minute appointment at kpu.ca/international/advising. Now let's move on to the registration period. KPU has 3 academic term per calendar year, and the term I refer to as fall, spring, and summer term. The fall term is from September to December, spring term begins from January to April, and the summer term is from May to August. As you can see here, course registration begins about 1.5 months before the new semester starts. This means registration for the spring 2026 term will begin around mid-November. So prior to the scheduling of registration and assignment of the time tickets, students will be classified into one of the groups based on credits earned. The registration schedule will be ordered by group. Within group 3 to 7, students will be ordered by institutional GPA. The order of registration considers only complete courses with grades. For example, for new students in all academic levels admitted prior to the assignment of the time tickets, their order is the second, which means as you get a new international students, you will be getting an early registration date and time. A few important reminders to take note on. If you are currently waiting for a decision on your study permit, what we advise to still go ahead and register for your classes, but it's important to keep in mind about the dates and deadline. So if your study permit application is approved, you must submit the proof of approval before December 15th, 2025. The second scenario, if your study permit application is still pending, you will have until the last day to drop deadline with no penalty, okay, with no financial penalty, which is on January the 6th, 2026, to drop your registered courses and apply for a deferral by contacting the admission team at international@kpu.ca. If your study permit is denied, you must also drop all the classes before the last day to drop, which I just mentioned is January the 6th, 2026, so that there will be no financial penalty. In this scenario, follow the international refund guide regarding refund of your confirmation deposit. The steps for requesting a refund can be found in the link provided here. So before explaining about course registration, we need to briefly go over mykpu.ca. So mykpu.ca is a platform allows students to access several apps through a single sign-in account. We encourage you to sign in your mykpu.ca account, and then you can mark some cards as your favorites. For example, register for classes, which will allow you to access them quickly instead of search for them each time. You can access to the registration system by clicking the registration for class card here, for example. Okay, in the dates and deadline page, you will be able to find important information regarding KPU holiday closures, the first day of class, the last day to drop the course with a 100% refund, and last day to withdraw the courses, and so forth. So we encourage you to review the dates and deadline page for each semester and mark them on your calendar for the important dates, okay? All right. Now let's go over some pre-registration steps before moving on to the course registration demo. The first one, know your KPU login information. Without your login information, you cannot access the registration panel. So your user ID will be your KPU student email, and your default password will be your date of birth and entered in the form showing here. If you're unsure of your password, you may look up the app Students SSRA Self-Service Passport Reset on mykpu.ca and allow the steps there. Just follow the step there and to reset your password. Okay, the second one is know your registration date and time. So you are able to start registering for your classes after the given time tickets that is issued to you. To find your registration date and time, search for register for class, the card on mykpu.ca, and then click on prepare for registration. If you go to the kpu.ca/SES website, you will find a step-by-step video on how and where to find your registration time tickets. As a new student, again, you get one of the earliest registration dates. So as popular courses tend to get filled up very quickly, please take advantage of your early registration date and time and enroll in class as early as possible. Okay, next about clear action item. So when you try to register for your course, and you will receive a pop-up notification informing you that an action item is pending. You must clear this action item in order to continue with the registration procedure. Again, there's a step-by-step video for this you can find on kpu.ca/SES website, okay? And next is the review the course recommendation handout in advance. All new students are emailed a list of recommended course to take in their first semester. You should have received an email, okay? Not your personal email. I think we send it to your KPU email. So log into that and find that email. The course recommendations are based on your faculty and intended major. The courses are based on our recommendation only. You may take the courses outside these options that, but you are encouraged to just consult the university calendar when doing so. You may find that some of the courses listed in your course recommendation handout are not specifically mentioned in the university calendar under your program curricular requirements. This may be because many of the program has room for elective courses. Elective courses can be freely selected by students and are meant to encourage students to explore other areas of study. So if you are students who have several transfer courses to KPU, then the course recommendation may differ for you, in which case you should come to meet with an international advisor before course registration starts. Okay, consult the university calendar. The university calendar provides the program information, including program intake type, declaration requirements, and curricular requirements for each program, and serve as the official guide to KPU academic program. So you need to refer to the university calendar when planning your courses. You cannot just register any courses you want and go to the university calendar, find your program, find the curricular requirements. You should be able to see a list of courses you should register just for your program. The last one is international tuition deposit. This will be applied to starting from your second semester. For this semester, because you guys have already paid the confirmation deposit, so don't worry too much. After the first term, you must ensure you have a minimum balance of 2,200 as the international student tuition deposit in your KPU account before registering for courses for the upcoming term. Students who do not have this amount will have a hold placed on their account while not able to register for their courses. Just to clarify, this is not additional fee, okay? But this could be applied towards the balance in your account for your tuition payment, things like that. Okay. For the registration demo, so unfortunately we cannot get access to the test account in time for this webinar, so we are unable to conduct a live demonstration of the registration procedure. In lieu of this, we have included a relatively relevant screenshot to discuss key registration steps. Okay, so you may do this along with me, as I just suggested. So you can go to my kpu.ca and search the card for register for your courses. And after you click on that card, this page will show up. Okay. And okay, so once you open the register once you open this page, click register for class and register for class. And select spring 2026 term in the drop-down menu and click Continue. And this will direct you to this page where you can search for the courses available for a given semester. There's an option to use the advanced search feature if you wish to find classes on a specific campus, a specific date, a specific time, or taught by a specific instructor. You can use advanced search for field in the field and do more customized search. So when you search for any courses in the subject field, it's important to enter the course name, not the program name. Okay, they're different. So for example, if your program name is Business Management Diploma, do not search for Business Management in the subject field. Instead, you must search for the specific course that are part of your program. As I just mentioned, you can find the course list in the university calendar under your programs page. There's a curricular requirements. Okay, you can find the course list under that. So now let's try Criminology 1100 or CRIM 1100. Put the CRM or Criminology in the subject area. And and in the course number field, enter 1100. Click search. The search will lead you to a list of sections of Criminology 1100 that will be offered in spring 2026. You will find the class schedule information in the meeting time column. If you click the course title in the title column, you should be able to see more details regarding this course, such as instructor, class meeting time, final exam date and time, and course restrictions. You can also see credits, instructional methods, and status of disease information here. So, how to add a course? Once you have chosen the section, then you can add the course. And this will, after click it, this will put the class into the summary panel at the bottom right corner, and the class schedule window is the bottom left. So remember that adding the course does not mean you already register in the class. You have to make sure that the registration option is selected, and in the drop-down menu, and then click Submit. You will know that you are successfully placed into a class when you see that registration status has been changed to registered. And time conflict. So whenever adding a specific class to your schedule, make sure you do not have any time conflict with another class that has already been added to your schedule. This includes making sure that your final exam for the class do not fall on the same day and time. And if you have classes at different campuses on the same day, please make sure that you have enough time to commute between campuses. So drop and waitlist. If you want to drop any course, simply select drop from the drop-down menu and click Submit. If the section is full, you will see another option called Waitlisted in the drop-down menu. If you want to put yourself onto the waitlist to see, so you need to just choose it and submit as you will, and then you will be waitlisted. Okay. So again, once you choose that, you will see the status will be updated to waitlisted. And to see your waitlist position, select the schedule details in your class schedule window, and then click the arrow to the left of the course title, and you should be able to see it. Okay, the next demo is for linked courses. So this time, let's try to add a class that has a lab component, which is a biology or BIOL 1160. Please note that many of the science courses, such as chemistry, physics, and biology, has a lecture and a lab component. You must select both the lab and the lecture to register for just one class. And the lab component, as you can see here, will show 0 credits, while the lecture component will show as 4 credits. Let's add both lecture and lab. Again, make sure register is selected and click submission. Or you can simply click view linked. The system will show you the available combination like this. And you can then click add all button. Then both lecture and lab will be added to the summary panel. Note that if you attempt to register in only one of these sections, either just lab or just lecture for the science subject, and you will receive an error message asking you to register for both. Again, you must make sure that you register in both lecture and the lab component at the same time. This is particularly relevant to any students in the science faculty. And as you can see here, once you put both lab and class here in the summary panel and select register and just click submit, and they will become, like at the same time, they will be registered. All right. So you will receive this video anyway, and you can consider this is step-by-step instruction. So when you go online and register for your classes, you can just review this recording, and then I think you should be fine. Next is common registration errors. Now that we have covered the registration procedure, it's important to know some common errors that you may receive when registering for your classes and what those errors mean. The first is closed, waitlisted. This means that the section you are trying to enroll is full, but you have the option of waitlisting for the courses. So once on the waitlist, it's important to check your KPU email regularly every day to see if you have received the waitlist notification email. If you receive the email for a seat offer, you have to register for the courses within 24 hours of receiving that email through the registration app. If you fail to register the seats within 24 hours, the seats will be given to the students not on the list. So that's the reason why you can say we suggest you to check your KPU email every day just in case you miss that notification email. Another error that you may encounter is prerequisite, co-requisite, and MAT. A prerequisite course is a course that you must have completed with a minimum C grade or unless otherwise stated before registering in a given course. So a co-requisite course must be taken at the same time or prior to the course you want to register for. So if you've taken previously for the co-requisite course, again, the same, okay? A minimum final grade of C is required to fulfill a co-requisite. So if you don't have these requirements, you will receive the prerequisite or co-requisite error. Time conflict error. It's received when you attempt to register in a session that either has a class time or exam time overlapping with another class that you have already registered for. But this doesn't include, as I just mentioned, sometimes our students tend to choose 2 courses on the same day in different campus. In that case, I don't think the system will give you an arrow like a message or a reminder say, but you need to make sure. You need to make sure you have enough time in between so you can commute from one campus to another, okay? Lastly, linked course required arrow. Again, as we just explained, for science subject, for biology, like chemistry, physics, these courses have a linked lecture and lab. This means that you are registered for register in lecture section and a lab section at the same time. So if you attempt to register in only one of these sections, you are getting this error. Ensure you register in both, okay, at the same time. So at the very top, there are QR codes that you may scan to review a full list of possible registration errors that you can receive. Okay, next one is reserve and restrictions. What that mean? So you may also receive reserve and or restrict arrow when attempt to register for some courses. This is because some section for a popular course are reserved for a specific group of students. For example, there may be a business course with 7 sections open, but out of those 7 sections, 3 may be reserved for students who are doing a bachelor in business administration and accounting, or all of the sections maybe have 10 seats designated specifically for students in a particular program. So if a section has seats reserves, this will be displayed in the column reserved seats. Most of the reserved seats are removed after 3 weeks, about 3 weeks after the start of the registration, and those seats then become available for all students eligible to register in the courses. Restrictions, on the other hand, are permanent. They will not be removed. Restrictions are placed on certain courses that are meant for students in a specific program. For example, info courses, INFO courses, are restricted to those students who are in IT Bachelor or Computer Information System Diploma program. So you can find a list of all the course sections that are coded as reserved or restrictions on the kpu.ca/restriction webpage. Okay, next let's talk about KPU grade 12 math requirement. At KPU, as well as across many other Korean institutions, all science program has university-level math, physics, chemistry, and biology courses that students must take in order to graduate. With the exception of biology, grade 12 math with a minimum grade C is a prerequisite requirement for all university-level science courses. What does that mean? It means that if you did not complete grade 12 math with a minimum C grade, and you attempt to register for any undergraduate chemistry, physics, or mathematics course, you will see a prerequisite, co-requisite, and met arrow. In addition to science program, diploma in business administration and associate of arts degree in economics also have one or more courses that have grade 12 mathematics as a prerequisite requirements. So if you're students who is in any of these programs and do not have grade 12 math, then you are suggested to take courses that don't have grade 12 math as a prerequisite in your first semester. Later on, in order to fulfill this prerequisite requirements, you may need to either take math qualifying courses. I will talk more about this qualifying courses mean in next slide, or take the math placement test. You may visit a link at the bottom to learn more about the we call MPT test, math placement test, and you're encouraged to see an advisor to fully understand how you may upgrade your mathematics to meet the grade 12 math prerequisite requirement. Okay, type of courses. There are 3 main types of courses offered at KPU. Full-term course run from the entire duration of the semester. That is for spring term. Full-term class will start in the beginning of January and end in April. Intersession courses are not very common. They are offered except to have more classes per week compared to full-term courses. Because the material that is taught in 4 months is condensed into 1.5 months period. There are usually 2 sessions offered in one semester, and we call them session 1 and session 2. Basically, we cut a semester into half. The first half we call session 1, the second half we call session 2. It's important to note that the deadline to add and drop classes without penalty for inter-session courses is different from full-term courses, which you can check on the date and deadline page. Okay, qualifying courses. You can consider them as high school level courses. They are meant to upgrade your knowledge and proficiency in the subject area so that you may proceed to an undergraduate level study. Qualifying courses are usually end with a Q. For example, ENGQ means English qualifying courses, MATQ means like mathematics qualifying courses, and BIOQ, biology qualifying courses, except for ELST courses. So except for ENGQ and ELST courses, these 2 types of courses are English preparation courses. Qualifying courses tuition are the same as undergraduate level courses, and they do not count towards your undergraduate credits. Means that you cannot use them to fulfill any undergraduate program requirements. So you cannot use them, in a simple words, you cannot use them towards your graduation. It just prepare you, get you more ready for your undergraduate level courses. And course delivering methods. So when you're registering for your classes, you may see that some classes are offered in person, while other classes are offered as blended or online. So in-person classes, most of the classes are offered in person. Students must physically present in the classroom. So all lectures, exams, quizzes are delivered in person. Blended asynchronous classes are a combination of both in-person and online, where the online component of courses is not delivered at any specific time, so you can review the contents online at your own time. Blended synchronous is a combination of both in-person and online class, where the online portion of the class is scheduled at a specific time, which means you must be online at the time specifically in your schedule. Online asynchronous class has no scheduled meeting time. The instructor will upload material and pre-recorded lecture online. You may review and replay the lecture to clarify the concepts. You will be expected to complete the coursework on your own schedule, but within the deadline set by the instructor. This type of course requires a lot of self-discipline. So online synchronous classes are where the instructor and students are both online at the same time. The instructor may give a live lecture at a specific time, so you must be logged into your Moodle. It's a platform at the scheduled time. Exams may either be conducted online or in person. So as international students, and you are recommended to take only in-person or blended course, particularly in your first semester. Taking online courses may impact the length of your post-graduation work permit in the future. If you must register for an online course, please come to see us first, and we can have a discussion on that. Okay, maintain full-time status and PTWP eligibility. So we have gone through a lot of information already, but you may want to pay extra attention to this slide. If you plan to apply, if you have planned to apply for we call PTWP upon completion of your studies, it is important to take note that one of the criteria to apply for a PTWP is that you must maintain full-time student status throughout your study. Full-time here at KPU means enroll at least 9 credits per term. If you are enrolled in 9 credits and end up withdrawing from a course, and you will be considered a part-time student for that semester. So in some case, you may receive a recommendation from your instructor saying, hey, you may, do you consider to withdraw this course because the instructor sees some potential that you may fail this course or something like that. And just don't do it right away, okay? Come to see international advisor, because I mean, it's related to your future immigration application to RCC. And sometimes the instructor do not have those knowledge. So again, if you ever receive those suggestions from an instructor, just think twice and come to see us first before you do anything. And there are a couple of exceptions to this rule. And for example, you can take a schedule break. I'm not saying, so for example, you study here for 2 years, 4 years, you cannot take a one break. It doesn't mean that, okay? Here at KPU, we have schedule break. This means you can take one term off or be part-time students in that semester per calendar year, provided that you remain full-time status before and after the break. Another exception is on authorized leave. Authorized leave can be provided if you need to take a semester off that cannot qualify as a schedule break, and it is required to be approved. In case of applying for authorized leave, you must meet an advisor for eligibility. Authorized leave only approved for current or upcoming term under like very kind of extreme situation, and you will be required to provide supporting documents for approval. On the other hand, the schedule break, you don't need approval for that. You can just simply don't register for any courses or register as a part-time student. And as long as you follow the university policy, and you will be fine. There's no application procedure for that. Okay, now let's briefly touch on some support resources that you can access freely through your time at KPU. Okay, prepare for classroom. To help our students prepare for the classroom, we have Academic Integrity Tutorial and the KPU 100 course. Both are highly recommended for you to complete before starting your first term at KPU. The reason we advise to complete Academic Integrity Tutorial is because there are cases in each semester that students who are charged with academic integrity violation, as they fail to see their reference, for example, properly in their assignments, or they didn't fully understand what classified as a plagiarism. As a student, it's your responsibility to understand what constitute academic integrity violation and do everything to avoid it. If you're charged with the violation, you can receive a 0 on your assignment or an F grade in the course, or even be suspended from KPU based on how serious the offense is. So therefore, this course is really, really important as it provides students the meaning of academic integrity as defined by KPU. Common example of academic misconduct and its consequences and strategies to uphold the academic integrity. You can find those in this tutorial. About KPU 100. This is a non-credits 1-week program with no fee for all KPU students. Some of the things that will be covered in the course are how to manage your time efficiently, strategy for reading texts, taking notes and memorizing, and how to communicate efficiently online, and how to work in an online group and teams, and how to improve your test taking skills, and how to use KPU technology such as Moodle. So you can use the QR code on this page to enroll in both these classes. We highly recommend that you enroll in both, and they will give you a head start on your academic journey at KPU. Okay, next one is the Learning Center. The Learning Center, another really important academic support we provide here for our students. So the Learning Center provide a range of skills and strategies that encourage learning excellency and promote your development at KPU. So you have the option to book a tutor, book an appointment with a learning a strategist, attend one of the workshops, or get help with your writing assignments, or Learning Center service are free of charge. So we highly encourage you to spend some time in navigating the Learning Center webpage and crossing their resources during your time at KPU. So our international advising team also have a lot of resources to to support our international students, you may access the resources by visiting the International Student Advising homepage. It covers academic, non-academic topic, immigration information, advising videos on popular topics, graduation checklist, how to apply for graduation, post-graduation work permit, and more immigration resources. The idea is to support our international students from entering KPU as a freshman to the end of their study as a graduate. Next, we will go over some support services that you will benefit from on a personal level. Okay, the first one is a peer mentorship program. This program is specifically designed to support first semester students. Every new student is connected with a peer mentor in their first semester. Peer mentor are currently KPU students, and you can reach out to them throughout your first term. They can assist you in navigating through some of the personal challenges you may face at the as a new students. They can help you get familiarized with the campus, introduce you to other new students, and help you build connections by holding social events throughout the semester. So if you're feeling lonely, which is very, very common emotion to experience in your first semester, reach out to your peer mentor, and they can help connect you with other students. Next is the Telex House Support Student app. If you're going through a difficult time in your life, perhaps you lost a family member, had a breakup with your partner, or experienced a high level of anxiety or depression, for whatever reason, download the Telex House Student Support app. They provide professional trained counselor with whom you can talk to over the phone or live chat 24/7. Then the conversation you have are kept confidential, and the service is free of charge to all the students. If you also have a counseling department that you can access if you have concerns that are impacting your academic, sleep, or motivation, if you have ever have questions in those areas. So we encourage you also to download the KPU Safe app. Through this app, you are able to contact security and emergency service, find out what to do in the event of emergency across first aid and counseling services, view interactive campus map, arrange for a security officer to escort you on campus, and more. There are QR code next to each of the support services. You may scan them for more information. Okay, we will quickly talk about the house insurance because a lot of our new students have many questions about it. As a new student, you will be automatically enrolled in a GuardMe insurance program. This is a temporary insurance. As soon as you arrive in Canada, you must enroll in the BC Medical Service Plan, we call MSP program. Anyone who plans to reside in Canada for longer than 6 months is required to enroll in this program. It's mandatory. Once you receive your BC MSP card, which could take, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, something like that, and you can opt out from the GuardMe, the temporary insurance, if you want. Lastly, the KSA, Extended Health and Dental Plan is also something that all students are automatically enrolled in. It is also mandatory, means you cannot opt out from this plan unless you have a similar benefit through an employer or somewhere else, which many students don't. So if you have any question regarding the insurance, please contact an international student live team for suitable support. And they are like another group of team within KPU International. So they're very responsive. Just shoot them an email once you have any question. Okay, here. This is a web page, and this their contact information. Okay, pre-boarding checklist. Lastly, just a few quick reminder as you prepare to come to Canada. Remember to carry the following documents before boarding your flight tickets, your passport, port of entry letter, your visa, your ETA, and your letter of like acceptance. And you can find the QR code to our CC pre-departure guide here. It's highly recommended that you check it out, as it has really good tips and information for students embarking on Canada as international students. So if you have any question related to your travel to Canada, we also have a team within KPU International to support you, and they could be reached by email internationaltransitions@kpu.ca. All right. Before we end this presentation, let me summarize the different ways you can connect with our international advising team. 2 of these were mentioned before: booking an appointment through Advisor Connect, the platform, or join a drop-in session. We use Zoom for the drop-in sessions. Other ways to connect are through phones or emails at internationalstudents@kpu.ca. So feel free to reach out to international advising team during your time at KPU. On behalf of the team, we wish you all the best of luck for your first semester at KPU, and we hope to see you all soon.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for your insightful presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us, and I hope everyone enjoyed the presentation. I would like to remind everyone that we will be sharing the recording of this session later this week to make sure you can review all the information before the registration period starts. So keep an eye on your student email for email with a link to the recording. Once again, if you have questions that were not answered today, please feel free to contact us, as Vicky has kindly shared with us. You can email us as internationalstudents@kpu.ca, or you can book an appointment with one of our advisors through advisorconnect.kpu.ca, or you can join our drop-in sessions. So this concludes the webinar. We will now open the Q&A box on the right side of the screen. Please feel free to type in your questions, and we'll try our best to answer as many as we could. If we see a reoccurring question in the Q&A, we will publish the question and answer for everyone to see. So before posting your questions there, please make sure you review the ones that already been published. However, please know that this Q&A is meant to support general questions only. If you have questions that are more specific or more complex, you're welcome to meet with an advisor through an appointment or to a drop-in session. Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. We hope you have learned a lot through this session, and we wish you the best in your first semester in spring 2026 at KPU. Our advising team is looking forward to seeing you at KPU. Again, feel free to ask your question in the Q&A box on the right of the screen, and we'll try our best to answer it. Thank you so much, everyone.